Back. For real this time. Now we're back for good. We're back for the whole, for the good, for the youth. We're here. There we go. Let me reopen the alert box, which is obviously broken because it went down when the horrible internet went down. That's okay though. That's okay though. Alright, let's do this. It's the greatest adventure of a lifetime. They did, dude. They sabotaged electrical. It was that damnable thief, I tells ya. That thief did it. She stole my electric city. Dude, I swear to God, Texas legitimately has a fucking third world infrastructure. This entire situation, unironically, was caused by a 30-minute thunderstorm. 3 hours ago, at 4 p.m., there was like a 30-minute thunderstorm that passed overhead, and it knocks the power out for the fucking rest of the day. It's absurd. It's fucking absurd. And they refuse to upgrade it because it's communism. And I agree, because I don't believe in communism. It doesn't add up. Whatever Ted Cruz is telling us, he's pulling the wool over our eyes. Miss Lestrade, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. I don't even remember what this choice was, but I believe I was going to say this before the game crashed, like 20 minutes ago, so I'm going with it. I'm going with my gut. At odds? Are you sure, man? Absolutely. It seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. So Van Zieks realized it too. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some complicit party's name at the very least. Yes, my lord. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, whilst she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilded snoring. Think, Ryunosuke, think! There's something else she should have heard. Show a person, show. Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound, very clearly explained by the presence of the following person. I can't even remember what she said she did here, man. God damn it, this is the hardest Ace Attorney has literally ever been. He heard Beppo, fuck it. The thing is, like, not only has it been a week since the first half of this case, and I didn't watch it back, I also keep getting fucking interrupted by the power going out, so like, I have no clue what's going on. I think it's Thrice Fired Mason. She should have heard the victim. She should have heard the victim in the cab. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna go for it. Fuck it. If we game over, we game over.
Take that!
Thrice Fired Mason! Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade cannot have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. Okay, good. Yes, I was right. Dun 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 dun. Order! Explain your reasoning, counsel. Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus. Is that correct?
Yeah, of course I was. I got on where the driver was in the pub, didn't I?
And the next person aboard the omnibus was Mr. McGilded? That it was. That Solo was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least, not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Through the crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure.
And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time, did you not hear the door opening or closing at all?
Nah, I never heard it. It's exactly what I was listening for, wasn't it? Waiting for this swell to leave.
In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? Oh! We know the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts.
Oh.
Yeah, she actually kind of got owned. She's stupid. Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed. She honestly most likely don't even know what 9 plus 10 is. Spoiler alert, it's 21. Unfortunately, the greatest mathematician of our era, that kid from TikTok, had not been born at this time, so they still were in the Dark Ages. They were still in the Dark Ages with their fucking simple caveman brains where they thought 9 plus 10 was 19. Lord Van Zeeks! Yes, he knew. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? If you have demonstrated matters impeccably. Oh, no if. I don't know why I thought there was an if. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more.
He's dead right. How could the victim possibly not have boarded the omnibus?
That makes no sense whatsoever.
And this girl is a pickpocket. Let's not forget that.
No! The old lady. Don't do it to me. The old lady is such a traitor, dude. They're actually gonna vote me off of the space station. This is messed up. It's actually gonna show Phoenix Wright flying through space. Ugh, she didn't even say anything.
I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because she has some rather naughty ways, but I must say, I can't abide liars.
And neither can I.
Mr. Foreman?
I don't want to judge a girl just because she has some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars.
Come on, maid, don't betray us on this one. The maid's still on my team, though. Arg. Mr. Naruhodo, that's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty. Uh-oh, what's he gonna do now? Well, oh, he's just doing the toast, damn it. Your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. To the considerable troubles you have spared me.
Damn you, Van Zeeks. You bastard.
Yes, very refreshing.
What are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Amadan? This is carnage. It's perfect.
Error number 2 is the only one left.
Mr. Naruhodo, the way this is going...
I know. If we can't find some new way to convince everyone that Mr. McGilded is innocent, the judge will rule, and we'll have lost! Uh-oh.
I very much wanted to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen, but those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Hold it!
Don't press that button. Man, I would love to be on the jury in ancient Britain, man. The fucking, like, just being able to push a single button and you murder somebody, like an actual just like Staples easy button of death. That shit's kind of dope, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. Can you believe how strange it is that the Staples easy button was a thing? That shit was like wildly popular. And it was the dumbest, it was literally just a shiny red button. People are, myself included, I love them. We're just so fucking easily amused. It's literally just a big shiny red button that says that was easy. It's the dumbest product ever created by humankind. And it was so popular, it was absurdly popular. The witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. Booga. They should have a booga button, man. It's literally like if you bought a product that dangled fucking keys in front of your fat face, and then that's just the whole product. Yay! I love key. I love the Staples Easy keys. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying?
Counsel. I'm sorry, sir. Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my adjudication. Explain yourself at once.
When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand.
And yet the victim's body was found inside that carriage.
If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance? How do I explain that? There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. He was not in there already. He was not in there already. There's another trance is factually true. Only one of these is factually true. So I think he had to come in through the skylight. I think he had to come in through the skylight. Because this bottom one is like pure conjecture. I'm gonna save, but the bottom one could definitely be true. Like, you could definitely see that being the case. If this girl is lying, though, and we're under the preposition that she's telling the truth. If she's lying, though, he could have been inside the place where she says she was, in that little cabin down there. But that's like pure conjecture, and we would still have to explain how she got there. He was in there already, doesn't make any sense. That's just stupid. There's another entrance is the only one that's just actually true. He could have come in through the skylight somehow. If the door wasn't opened even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way. It would also explain why she actually heard like a loud thud. If he just fell to the ground, it doesn't really mean there would be a thudding sound. But if he fell all the way from the top down into the cabin, then it would totally explain the thud.
Objection!
I wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. Booga! The omnibus is here for all to see. Amazon made the easy button too. Let's go, easy button. God damn. I love that shit. I'm not even trying to shit on people who bought the easy button because like it's such a fucking awesome thing, but it's so stupid. Like if you just zoom out and look at it objectively, it's the dumbest thing in the universe. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door. The other only has windows. Fixed windows, which cannot possibly open. In short, there is no entrance to the cabin other than the door.
Objection!
But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes. One other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the cabin. All right, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the core. Here is the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where is this entrance? It's the skylight.
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say, the skylight. Mr. McGillicuddy got his hand behind his back. Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words. However,
Objection!
the skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
Objection! So you claim, but do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory?
No.
Both Mr. McGilden and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained. There's the sound of the victim falling from his seat, having been assaulted with a dagger. Yes, it has. But would a man slipping from a seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witnesses describe? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry? Good gracious! Perhaps, in fact, that was your mama. No, I'm sorry, I was just goofing. That was the moment the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
Objection! Oh, that's crazy. I never knew about that product. You just hit it and then it sends you stuff? That's actually insane. That just shows you like how Amazon thinks of its customers, right? It's like they actually just need a buy me shit button. It's so cynical. That's amazing. That's great. That's the most cynical product you could try to sell people. I need more stuff. You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin? That's simply impossible. But how can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. I want one of those now. A fucking Amazon baby button. I could just like fucking lay in my fucking bed and then just mash this button to buy me fucking hamburgers. And yet, not one person made mention of such events. Well, yes, that's true, but... What do you wise, Irishman?
Might a humble fella make a wee comment here.
Mr. McGilded?
To be sure now, the two fellas who were sat on the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying, but... Aye. It is a case of them being unable to say.
What?
I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would just not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Harumph!
Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof.
I love typewriter lady.
You mean the ones who stuck the knife in that man were... Ah!
Oh god, they're back. They're actually back on the stand. I don't like Nigel Fairplay. I don't trust him. He looks like Nigel goddamn Thornberry to me at this point after all his treacherous deeds.
Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer?
What the fuck? What is this animation? What is this? Is he playing an invisible cello? Is he like a 1930s cartoon character who's playing a cello? What is this supposed to get across to me? I do not understand what this is meant to illustrate, but I love it. What the fuck? What is he insinuating? That's the real question.
You rotter, he said. You rotter, what are you insinuating?
This is a flaming outrage. I've a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute.
He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said. And so will I.
Mr. Fairplay.
You're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker.
And me, a very angry hatter.
I get it.
Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. It's error. I protest. I protest in the strongest possible terms.
That's right, I protest too. About you, you rotten scoundrel.
There's so many people on the stand now. This is so absurd. Order! I hope at least one case has like straight up like 15 people on the stand at once. An invisible horse. That is what that animation was. He was on an invisible horse carrying an invisible spear next to it.
This is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom. Oh, this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous.
It's very hurtful, you know.
My lord, if I may comment.
Go ahead, Lord Van Zeeks.
It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accuse? I never intended to. It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You proposed to the court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware. Well, one of the rooftop passengers had to be aware. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, that is what's termed as a baseless accusation. I know I was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought.
What are we wasting time for? Get to them to testify.
Oh, I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fella.
We have to see this matter through now, one way or another.
If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once.
They're doing an evil British chant. This is so fucked up. What is happening, Sazato? I actually could not agree more. The spectators in the public gallery they're in a complete frenzy.
Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. My lord? You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord.
I didn't come here for this.
There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward.
Test 34.
Aww. They got rid of the Amazon Dash buttons. Wait. It's a digital scale that orders things for you when they fall under a certain weight? Oh, I see. Okay, for a second. For a second, I literally thought you meant the person. Like a scale for weighing yourself. And if you hadn't eaten enough of their horrible food, they would send you more. That would be amazing. That would actually be amazing. Like, they just send you a chocolate cake if you lose 5 pounds. Oh, that'd be so good. No, but that actually makes sense. It's like if you have, like, for example, a thing of SOAP, like 10 SOAPs on top of each other. If it gets too light, that means you've used too many SOAPs, so it orders more for you. That does make sense. That actually makes a lot of sense.
We were the only 2 people up on that roof deck, dead or alive. I could swear
It's not as fun as a button, though, is it? It's not as fun. If you could, like, just perhaps hit a little button that then shoots up a flame that lands on top of the Amazon headquarters and then they send you stuff, that would be more appealing to me personally.
I can swear to that.
If anything had happened while we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed?
In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man.
This skylight was shut the entire time, I'll tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it.
If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof?
I mean, to be fair, the skylight theory is incredibly fucking stupid. It doesn't actually make any sense. If he was actually killed, then thrown from the skylight, there should have literally been blood on the floor, like beforehand. Unless they perfectly launched him so that he landed in the seat already, but that seems incredibly unlikely. And not only that, actually, you know what? We did point out that there was like almost no blood for a guy who supposedly bled to death, so maybe his blood was already dry. Nah, I don't know. This is very weird. I know which thing to press and present evidence to, at least. He said there's no way to open it.
I must say, listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck.
I really want to buy one of these in the modern day. Just like pimp my ancient British carriage. I want to buy one of these and just replace the wheels with like spinning rims, just huge fucking tires, and then just like drift it. Just like Tokyo drift that shit and take it in illegal street races. Shit would be fun as fuck.
How could they have done that without the other noticing forthwith?
That is the question, right?
That's what you say.
We're innocent, I tell you.
Although logically, of course, the argument falls down if the 2 of you were in collusion with one another.
What?
Hey!
According to the investigations by Scotland Yard, the 2 witnesses share no common dealings.
Heh, well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinky rich.
Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really. So, why do I feel so uneasy?
Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes, my lord. Dun 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 dun. His hat falls off. This guy's the worst hatter of all time. He's not a real hatter. We were the only 2 people. I don't care about that. Neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. See, that one can definitely be true. But Bruce Fairplay is on here, on the debtor's ledger. So, if we can find the other guy on the debtor's ledger, then it doesn't even matter if he's dead or alive. Because he's fucked. That's a commonality, I tell you. Okay, but no, yeah, you don't have to re-examine evidence. That's a good thing. If you examine evidence like once, you're generally good. So I don't have to keep going back to that to check people's names.
I'm gonna play my invisible cello, I am.
Alright, so you couldn't possibly have opened it. Let's press that. Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time?
I'm gonna lose my block with you in a minute.
He's gonna lose his rag with you in a minute, that's what he said.
That's not what he said.
Take a look for yourself. Go on.
There's a fucking latch literally right there, dude.
You see, it's shut fast now, just like it was all the night.
So it is, of course. A fella the size of Mr. Mason could likely break through it still and all.
What?
Just looking at the size of the thing, you understand?
Now you hold on there a minute, sir. The size of the thing means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we?
Let's stop biting our cane, shall we?
I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, well, I broke wind. Loudly. I shocked myself with it as it happens.
Okay. This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First.
Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see. But just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went red as rouge, I did.
That's disgusting.
Are you expecting me to sentence you?
Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried and tried when I was inside that cabin of shame.
Aha, there you go. Pursue.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Why is her name Lestrade? The fact that her name is Lestrade is so goddamn confusing me. It's like basically confusing me up to hell and back again. Inspector Lestrade is the cop in Sherlock Holmes. He's not a 15-year-old girl who turns out to secretly be 17, who's a secret fucking thief in the night. That's just not his character arc at all. Miss Lestrade. Why did they say she was 15 and then immediately her card says that she's 17? That doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like maybe they're gonna establish that later and it accidentally gave me that information too soon. I'm 95% sure it said she was 15 when it was introducing her.
It opens.
Huh?
The skylight. That's what we're talking about, right?
The gun. Don't let her load it and still shoot it. Bailiffs, you gotta get that shit.
Oh, them skylights open. Dead easy.
More easily than you can load that weapon.
That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, why I broke wind, You can't do it from inside, you bug. Oh. Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags, and I had a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out my ears.
Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activity.
Well, anyway, I had a bit of scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't hop off the bus and leg it. So what I did was, I used the skylight, opened the catch and jumped right through.
What?
Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin.
Yeah, I fucking saw that shit already, bro. The skylight opens.
From the roof deck?
I don't think they say her age earlier. Oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm almost positive they did, but maybe I'm imagining things.
Bailiff! Climb up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claims.
I'm climbing as fast as I fucking can. There you go. That shit not only opens, but I would go so far as to say that it turbo opens.
Oh my hat.
The gun.
See?
Order! So it appears the street girl's statement is quite true.
I don't believe it. The skylight opens, and from the roof deck. Mr. Naruhodo, this could be the clue we've been looking for.
Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. So, the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. If you're so sure the victim fell, where's your proof? Good question. Let's check it out. So the skylight was fastened shut before, but now the catch has been undone, so we should be able to open it. Ding, 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 ding. Cool. What does that change? Absolutely goddamn nothing? You bet. Maybe it'll give us a better view of like the angle? I don't know. Dun, 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 dun.
Aha! Yeah, yarn!
There's blood on it. But here's the problem. That's clearly like the fake blood. That's clearly like the fake blood that was not there before, so this is all just a setup. This is not true. This is a falsehood.
Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo.
Why someone like me?
Ah,
What is it?
look, just here, look at this.
That's without question. It's blood.
Why would there be a blood stain there? Surely, it can't be unrelated to the case, can it?
There is a blood stain visible on the skylight. Cool. There's my proof.
Objection!
Slap. On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stow match. And immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible on the omnibus that stands before us today, in this very courtroom.
What? That's a humbug. You can't possibly have any evidence.
No, you can't. We didn't do it, I swear.
Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom. Counsel,
My lord,
I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here. Where exactly within the omnibus is the evidence?
It's on this skylight.
You will point it out what proves the victim fell from the roof deck.
there it is right there. But the problem, this is a cool case, I don't know. The problem is that this is like fake evidence, which is very weird. This is like the opposite of the updated autopsy report from Ace Attorney 1. It like really throws you for a loop, but it's like good for my side this time. It's very strange. This like fake new blood. The hashtag fake blood. Ba, 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 ba.
Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it?
Wide enough to kick someone like, God damn it, you fucking stupid Susato. Susato's pissing me off, dude. Susato literally looks like fucking human Garfield. 100% Susato hates Mondays, that's literally all I'm saying. I'm not trying to accuse her of anything, I'm just saying she loves that shit. Lasagna, to be specific. No! Fucking God. I pressed A again. For fuck's sake. Please just add a skip button to the whole string of dialogue. Actually, it's a good thing they don't do that, 'cause then you would accidentally press it and skip everything.
Got it!
Got it!
Hey, Jupiter! Is that blood?
This bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open.
What?
And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening.
Oh my.
And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime.
No!
Well, that pretty much settles it, huh?
Order!
Hold it!
But the blood could have been sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin.
And only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight? Surely that would have been very convenient. And let's keep it in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it, now would I?
But there's no way to know for certain, is there? If the jet really fell through the skylight, I mean.
Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin, between the two seats, Mr. First? This is so fucked up, he's so evil. McGilded is so evil, it's definitely him. This is so messed up, dude. But like, how can he even get caught now? He did it. His nefarious plot has worked, for super sure. Like, what do you even say to this? He's literally convinced the entire court that it physically could not have been him. It is physically impossible to be him, if you accept this new blood is real. But our boy, Dr. Van Stinkenheimer, the prosecutor, he better get in here pretty soon and clear this shit up, otherwise he's fucked. It's all too plain, you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fella dropped from a fair height right there, so it is.
What? No!
But it can't be. It's all...
Lies! Hold it! My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we?
I believe we can, yes, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom.
So, they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they?
She's just busy fucking typing.
I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it.
Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing.
On three then, everyone! 1, 2, 3! Objection!
Yeah, get him, Dr. Stinkenheimer. Ooh!
A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded.
Oh, and what would you be referring to there now, Lord Van Zeeks?
A blood stain on the frame of the skylight? Such evidence is null and void.
What? Why?
Because I said so. For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed.
Objection!
What are you talking about? It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood.
Objection! I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. So I can state with absolute surety, no such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least, not until this trial began.
But
Are you suggesting, Lord Van Zeeks, that the stain of blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes. And while this court has been in session.
what? Yeah, it was when she threw the fucking smoke bomb, dude. What a palaver. I mean, here's the thing though, like, I'm glad that this guy is fighting back, you know? He's giving him the old 1-2. Dr. Van Dekensteimer, he ain't gonna go down easy. But at the same time, like, at this point, it's literally just prosecutor's word versus all of the physical evidence. Like, there is no reason this should go on any further. I'm glad it is, though, because we gotta find out the actual truth. I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zeeks. But I'm Magnus McGilded, a fella known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey.
Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature.
Yeah, McGilded is full of it.
You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts.
Adapt the facts? What does that mean? Enough with your fucking wine, dude. Van Zeeks has to be, like, actually just fucking blitzed at this point. Van Zeeks has got to be fucking slurring his words, stumbling around. He has drank, like, 18 glasses of wine since this case started. This dude is a fucking alcoholic. He needs to join the ancient British equivalent of Alcoholics Anonymous. Anongoyolos.
When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir.
Tut-tut, Lord Van Zeeks. That will not do, to be sure. Will it now, counsel? Oh no. I think it's fair to say, this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skylight didn't exist, you say? But if you was all cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? How could anyone have put a smear of blood in it without the world and his wife seeing? But isn't that right now, counsel? I'm starting to get the distinct impression that McGillicuddy is gonna be like the fucking final boss of this game. I know I already said that the final boss was gonna be the police lawyer man who sent us here, but like, I don't know, it's starting to feel like McGillicuddy's gonna be the actual final boss of this game. It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time the court has been in session. My learned friend. Hang on, I'll be back in 1 second. I'm back. Sorry. I've returned though. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words. As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during the trial? If you're asking me, I think... Again, I know how Ace Attorney works, the fucking twisted justice system they have, so I know it wants me to say it could have been possible. But as this guy's defense attorney, I should absolutely say it's out of the question. But I'm gonna go Ace Attorney logic on this. I'm gonna go Ace Attorney logic on this and say it's totally possible. Because it is. Like, there was a smoke bomb thrown and then there was an emergency recess. It is possible. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best as I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility.
Oh my god! Explain yourself, fucker!
This is so fucking tense. I really hope we can finish in time. We only have 45 minutes left in the stream. So we may barely have time. Like, it just doesn't even feel like it's wrapping up though. Yes, there is. It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from this deceit.
Deceit!
I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly. The recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Ah, they got me!
That was when they assassinated me once and for all, old Ryanosuke. What is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo, cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. It looks like everything's on fire because of the stupid-ass flames in the courtroom. I remember that shit. The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. That was crazy. Do you see that fucking... It did like a full 360 around him. It did the oh god, oh man shot. Just fucking circling him. That was super weird. Oh god, oh man.
Are you wise? What are you trying to pull? You rotten feckless gouger.
Feckless gouger?
You're supposed to be defending me. Here's a wicked plot. There's a plot to undermine me, so it is.
Objection!
Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier, as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus.
Inconsistencies? Such as...
To start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial.
Unfortunately, Lord Van Zeeks, no one is able to corroborate your claims.
Your claims. That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the frames and the skylight were shut.
Accordingly, I'm afraid to say, we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not.
Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. I literally did. Why is he being a little passive-aggressive bitch? Why is Van Zieks being such a fucking bitch right now? He's like, if only some Japanese imbecile had spoken up. I fucking did, Van Zieks. What do you think? Sorry. About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? I have a dickling. Dun, 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 dun. My lord.
Yes, counsel.
There is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial.
What?
What in the devil's name are you gonna say now? If you dare to betray me, a little maggot, you'd better start watching your back.
Objection!
Silence, McGilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification. This trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe?
I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. Where exactly is this alleged mark that you claim appeared?
He's talking about this, right? The bloodstain on the floor? Because Van Queefius, he mentioned this up here. Lord Von Queequee. He mentioned the bloodstain on the roof, and he mentioned all the stuff cleared out from under the desk. But he didn't mention the giant gaping bloodstain on the floor, I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong, I could fuck this up, but I'm pretty sure he did not mention that.
Got it!
If we consider that the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But, as far as I recall, this bloodstain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus first brought into the courtroom.
Good lord!
I should be able to finish this? Oh, hell yes. Okay, I've got enough time, probably. Let's hope I don't fuck up. If I fuck up, I doubt I'll have time. But if I keep going at a good pace, I hope I can get there.
I do believe you're correct, counsel. Good lord!
Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that it was a very careless slip of the tongue. I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine, or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake.
Oh fuck, I don't know what the hell's going on anymore. Neither do we.
Arg! I knew it was you. This trial is over. Mr. McGilded? I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but it's all over now. But you're the defendant. Dude, he's gonna have the most spooky-ass, like, monster face. Oh, that's not that bad. I thought it was gonna do, like, one of the Ace Attorney, like, horrible face transformations. 'Tis over, I tell ya. Memory, recollection, what people think they saw, is all a nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is that bloodstain is there, now. Well, and over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, that good-for-nothing Reaper at a Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Van Zieks. Well, my lord?
I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much inexistent, and in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence.
Dude, this is crazy. This is actually fucking crazy. Like, this judge is actually competent. It's such a departure from, like, fucking, the Ace Attorney 1 through 3 judge, where anytime Edgeworth just, like, literally pulled conjecture out of his ass, the judge would be like,
well, he makes a good point. Maybe we should continue for 3 more hours.
Like, I know it's just for the sake of, like, fucking with us later on down the line, but right now, this judge is actually doing the proper thing. There is no way that two jackasses saying they remember it looking different should stand as evidence at all.
I regret to say it must be improper for this trial to continue.
Your lordship can't be serious.
Lord Van Zeeks, what is your position?
The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present. I know it was never gonna happen, but I was really fucking hoping that, like, he was just gonna say rests. The prosecution rests, cross his arms on his chest, and fucking fall backward into a coffin because he's Dracula. That shit would have been legendary. That would have been fucking legendary. God damn it. God damn you, Dracula guy. Well, I've got no further witnesses to present.
Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue, I shall proceed to my adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first.
What formality? As things stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGilded will be found not guilty. Yes. Which would mean we've won. Is that really the right outcome here? Is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now, with all these unexplained inconsistencies?
Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please.
Yes, my lord. The defense believes... Oh my god, dude. It's really fucking testing me. At this point, it's literally just like super testing me if I want to keep doing stupid Ace Attorney logic or be an actual defense lawyer. It's really testing me. I'm just gonna lean fully into Ace Attorney logic. I'm gonna lean all the way into Ace Attorney logic and just completely throw my dude under the bus. I honestly, at this point, doubt it matters, but I'm gonna throw him under the bus. The defendant could be guilty. Like, I'm just right now hearkening back to the case in Ace Attorney, I think it was 3, where Edgeworth and Phoenix for like 3 hours straight just fucking team up on the defendant. It was so hilarious. I am here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGilded. However, at this moment in time, I cannot in all good conscience attest fully to the defendant's innocence.
What are you saying, man?
Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove that the defendant is guilty. However, there is also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent. That's not how it works! I really hope it penalizes me for this, because that is not how it works. Literally 3 words. A 3-word sentence describes how the legal system is supposed to work. Innocent until guilty. There is no fucking reason why he should have to prove that he's innocent. But I guess he does, because I'm pissed.
Good! Good gracious me!
Please penalize me for that. That was the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life.
Order, order!
I meant innocent until proven guilty, but I already locked myself into only 3 words, and I said, well, fuck. That's not 3 words at all.
This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer calling the accused's innocence into question. Are you of sound mind?
Wahahaha. Oh, 'twas a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was. A grand decision. What? I must say, I didn't expect quite such an exciting spectacle at the end there, but still. Here, have this for your troubles. Ah. Your job here is done, fella. And some fine work you've done, so you have. What do you mean? 'Tis just as the right honorable gentleman so succinctly put it afore. This trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did he put it now? Nothing more than a formality. I like McGilded, man. He's so fucking evil and he loves it. He just loves being evil. It's great. I respect it. I jive with it.
Well, I really don't know what to make about this.
I honestly, it would have been kind of cool if McGilded ended up being a good guy because he just like fucking looks so much like a villain that it would have been kind of cool if he was actually just like very heroic. But no, he's straight up crazy evil. Or was the evidence we've seen genuine or fake?
His lordship would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said.
The stinking rich are always guilty of something. You mark my words.
I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us the lovely park.
Now that proceedings have unfolded in this way, I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea.
But aren't the jurors still, like, incredibly undecided? Isn't it still leaning towards guilty? I don't understand.
I thank you kindly, my lord.
Look at the scales. The scales are not in balance at all. The judge is in on it, man. The judge is on the take.
I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
Objection!
But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth.
Shut the fuck up, idiot.
My lord?
The case made by the prosecution was fraud, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place.
My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection!
But wait. When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zeeks ordered the evidence to be secured.
No, I don't give a shit. I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter.
That's so unfair. No. What's unfair is throwing your own defendant under the bus. For no reason! What's unfair is tag teaming somebody in the fucking court of law so that they don't have a defense. What the fuck?
The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to prefer judgment. What?
That's bullshit, dude. The judge is 100% on the take. What did he even say? What was the fucking judge's... The culpability of the defendant has not at present time been established by this court. That's not your job to decide. That's for the jury to decide. Yo, this judge is absolutely on the take. He is being paid off under the table.
He's like, well, you don't even need to worry about this one. I'll get this one, guys. Jury, you can just kind of go home. It's good.
Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense.
I guess it does explain why McGilded was not at all concerned before his trial. Like, he was just not worried in the slightest. Because he just paid off the judge straight up. He just straight up paid everybody involved.
You mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time?
It's the law of the land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law.
Magnus McGilded.
Good grief, you have more to say to me, have you?
Just one thing, a warning. This is far from over.
Well, something to look forward to then.
I love Magnus McGilded, he's awesome.
I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus McGilded, not guilty, despite everybody on the jury thinking he was.
Yay! But I win. I'm so good at this game. I won. I literally I fucking won like a god. I'm just so fucking good. Oh my god. This is an outrage. They should have examined the evidence more. Yeah, it is true if they just don't present a case at all. That wasn't the case here. There was a point when they were willing to, like, convict. The judge was, like, a second away from prosecuting. It's crazy. With the courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict. And my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end. With the defendant being found not guilty. Ostensibly a victory for us. It was a victory for us. We fucking nailed it. Wakabi, how am I awful? I won, dude. I'm a god. I'm the best lawyer of all time. Wakabi's literally just jealous because he wanted to see that guy go to jail. He wanted me to fail, but I'm incapable. I am truly incapable of failure. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber.
That certainly was a long trial.
Yes, it was.
Your first ever trial on foreign soil, and your first victory.
It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. I think the judge is in on it. I think the judge is gonna end up being one of the villains. Cause like, he was just like real quick to just shut that shit down. The second it looked a little dicey, he was like real quick to step in. Throughout the entire trial, he was like totally fine with the prosecution's performance. And then right at the end, he's like, no. Right at the end, he's like, absolutely not. I guess you could kind of hand wave it by saying it was just like the fake blood pissed him off that much. The fake blood done gave him a headache and he didn't want to play no more, but I don't know. I feel like he's in on it. I feel like he's part of a grand conspiracy of sorts. And to you, Miss Sazato, thank you for your assistance. But I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that. The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. True. You carried out your duty to perfection. Aye, that you did. Yeah, baby. It's Magnus McGillicuddy, dude. Mr. McGill did. Ah, and that girl is with him too. Well, it seems the stories are true. Oh, what stories? About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when the verdict of not guilty. Let's go, McGillicuddy. I fucking love McGillicuddy, dude. He's such a pimp. I'm sure you just must have seen him now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yes, definitely. I'd heard it was a sight to behold, and to be sure it was. And I viewed a tank. Honestly, McGillicuddy just like kind of looks like handsome anime JonTron. If JonTron was like a handsome anime boy, he would just straight up be McGillicuddy. And I have viewed a tank for having an opportunity to see it. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything. What on earth are you saying, fella? How did I walk out of there a free man? I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning. You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you? I must say, you had me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. Ah, 'tis water under the bridge. Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name clear. But nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh, aye. They've all seen that I didn't do that odious and obstinate deed. Is grand, is it not? I suppose it is. Now the fine fellas of Scotland Yard can take matters into their own hands and sort out any wee details. Man, McGillicuddy, you're gonna send those two gentlemen, those two friendly fellas that we know, to their deaths. Those two guys who are riding up top. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I have absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay. Well, it's not that funny. So then, as we agreed aforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept money for my job. Oh, be whist. You're a humble people, are you, from the East? Well, if you insist. But have this, still and all. You deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus McGilded. Everything is ready, sir. A mannequin army is ready to follow you into the courtroom. Into the courtroom? What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe. I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. It's time for the inspection. Sorry? What inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. They're going to examine it again? Now? Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help where I can. 'Tis a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fare thee well. 'Twas an absolute pleasure meeting yous. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain. This guy is so fucking evil, dude. He's absolutely the final boss. There's a 100% chance that he's the final boss now. It's got to be either him or the cop. The cop also seems incredibly evil. Not the cop, but like the lawyer guy we talked to who gave us the job. Maybe both. Maybe both of them are in cahoots. Maybe how this guy keeps getting away with shit is that he has the law of the land on his side. And there he goes, a free man. What do you want, Lestrade? You're a jerk. I forgot she was here too. She's got a gun. That is a really complex animation. They did not need to make it like that. She could have just pulled it up and shoot, and no one would have called him out on it.
Don't move.
Whereas I want to say, get a move on. She really does take forever to load that thing. That's funny, they comment on it too. This game's great. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down?
You're a grown-up,
Sorry?
and I hate all grown-ups.
This is definitely Herlock Sholmes. I'm calling it right now that this is Herlock. I'm giving him the voice. I'm plugging in and claiming that this is Herlock, and I'm gonna do the Herlock voice. Ah, there you are. Damn it! It's the person from the back of the box.
Naughty, running off like that.
What is this fucking garbage, dude? God. I saw this on the back of the box. This kid was on the back of the box right next to Sherlock Holmes. So, like, I don't want to say this out loud and will it into existence, but I have a deep-seated fear in my heart that this is Watson. I have a very bad feeling that this is fucking Watson. Because on the back of the box art, she's standing like right next to Sherlock Holmes. Who's this little girl now?
And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Heh.
Bazooka.
Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me.
Excuse me, but who are you? Please don't be Watson.
Oh, good day to you. Well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
The inventor? Maybe it's the girl from the Devil's Daughter game. Remember when we played the Devil's Daughter? There was that girl? Maybe it's her. Maybe it's her instead.
Well, normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? Why, more what? If you have to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself.
Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though? At all?
I just took my eyes off it for a moment whilst I was changing onto a different omnibus and she pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon.
Tella, what's it? What? I have no idea what this girl is talking about. This is fucking stupid, dude. Nintendo Crossing is getting a big update on November 5th. Wow. Paid DLC? Boo. Animal Crossing should all be free DLC. Are they finally adding the city? I'm not gonna go back till they add the city, straight up. Once they add the city, I'll go back. The city from City Folk. That game was the rat's knees. It was so fucking good. I love being able to visit the city because you would like see all these other animals that you hadn't met before from like different towns. It was awesome.
Anyway, you're coming with me now, back to my laboratory.
What? What for? They have the fucking same, dude, they have the exact same voice. These characters can never interact. These characters can never interact again because I can't create two different little girl voices. It's impossible.
To apologize, of course, silly, to the technician. What? You mean say sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? I don't listen to no adults. Come along then, follow me. Fine, have it your way. Oh, good. You see, I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end.
I'm fairly sure that what she wants is to not get shot by that massive gun of yours. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, see ya, fucking schlock. See a worst character in the game?
We'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye.
Maybe she'll grow on me, who knows?
I'm sorry for all the fuss.
She was a lively one. Ba, 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 ba.
Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now, too?
Yes, you're right. But where to?
Oh!
We haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff.
I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings.
But at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck.
It's not, look at the fucking outside, dude.
It's really not that late. It's really not that late. It's like maybe 4 p.m. tops. It could be a lot later.
Don't worry though, I have a plan. If worst comes to worst, I've heard of a lovely park where we could spend the night.
Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilded Park.
I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through.
I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable.
Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down. 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room, or mansion.
Why did he turn him down? It makes no sense. Makes no sense.
Come on, fucking
Phoenix Wright Jr. Senior. You should have just taken the 1,000 million guineas. You know the guy's a scumbag. It's not like he worked hard for that money. He just took it from other people. You could spread it back to the people, you know? By buying shit from them.
And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead, just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned.
The bees bazangas.
I would love that, dude. Could you imagine how much better this world would be? And I don't want to sound crass, and I don't want to sound crude, and I definitely don't want to sound rude, but I'm just saying, imagine if, like, bees just flew around with, like, C-cup titties hanging off of them. That's all I'm saying, how much, like, more fun the world would be to be in. That shit would be cash. That would be so fucking cool. They have, like, the fucking, Confederate flag bra and Daisy Dukes on, those sexy, sexy bees. Just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned, the case was far from over. The case of the missing bee boobies. The government surgically removed all of them in the year 1997. That's the true history the CIA doesn't want you to know.
What's going on? Get the fire brigade!
Oh no!
Bring water, quick! What the? How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating.
God. Oh no! There's somebody inside. That's fucked.
No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say just break a window. Santa, no!
Oh. This can't be.
Your old man voice stinks. Nah, his voice is pretty good. He has a scar? I literally never noticed that. Shit. Wow, that's bad. So somebody's super dead. Probably whoever knew the tooth. I would think it was the little girl. I would 100% think it was Lestrade, but she went with that other little girl, so. Nobody can possibly defeat two little girls at once. It's physically impossible, no matter how strong you are. The Adventure of the Clouded Kuroko. The Adventure of the Clouded Kuroko. The fuck does that mean? England, explain! Explain, England! Why you say Kuroko? Kokorok. That's the enemy from Zelda. Damn, who could it be? It's probably one of those dudes. It's probably one of the dudes who was sitting on the— No, not Beppo! Oh, I really hope it wasn't Beppo, dude. That would be literally the fucking saddest thing in human history if Beppo's dead. If Beppo got murdered. Well, we only have 15 minutes left in the stream, so we don't have much time to start the next trial, but I will. The Hound of Baskervilles! Oh shit, I want to do that one so bad. That's my favorite Sherlock Holmes story. Oh, hell yeah! They put it in here. We'll start this one. We'll get a little bit of a head start on the Clouded Kuroko. The Clouded Kokoro. We will play from the start of this. I think what we should do is, like, just not save. So we can do the first 15 minutes of this case right now, and then we'll just replay the first 15 minutes of the case next week. This will just be like a little sneak preview for the next stream, essentially. That looks like Holmes's room in the middle there.
I begin to think, Wilson, said Sherman,
Wilson.
turning his head
I forgot it was
languidly
Wilson.
in my direction, that there is more to this case than that which we have observed. Indeed, that there may be another part to this story that we are yet to discover. His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from his cup of herbal tea, leading
Oh
him
my god.
to the distant memory of that snowy evening.
Stab wound.
To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road, and to the knife in her back. Lit in the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene had been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtain had risen
police with his
silently
titties. This
on
is a
the
frame job.
insoluble mystery of our invisible killer.
Cool. Okay, so I was trying to pay like super attention, but I did not really glean anything that seemed important from that cutscene, unfortunately. I just didn't spot it. I just did not spot it. I'm sorry. I thought I might be able to, but I didn't see nothing. Yeah, I definitely have not heard of that book. The Case of the Clouded Kokoko. I couldn't tell you. Maybe it's a world famous Sholmes story, but I ain't never heard of it. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Did you sleep last night, Mr. Naruhodo? No! Leave me alone! It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms were so luxurious, I felt like we were staying in a palace. Shut up! With all the gas lights twinkling, it was brighter than day, even in the middle of the gas lights. But that's where the murder happened. Oh. It's a Japanese thing. Japanese book. Gotcha. It's not a Sherlock Holmes reference. It's The Adventure of the Clouded Heart. Oh, cool. That's fun. Let's go Japanese literature. Yeah, I know literally nothing about Japanese literature. Like, not even slightly. Like, not even like Warrior of the Three Kingdoms level. Like, just literally none. Not even a single one. But what about the enormous beds? After my time on the SS Burya, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space. I spent the entire night rolling from one side of the mattress to the other. I meant the romance of the Three Kingdoms, but close enough. Oh yes, it really was the sort of night you can only dream of normally. Except, when I learned that we owed £3 for the rooms, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Oops! Sorry about that. The building was so impressive, and the entrance so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking. In a lodging house in Japan, that sum of money would put a roof over your head for a whole year. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented with the bill. Ugh, I really am sorry. Oops. Well, never mind. We must find some more affordable lodging straight away, though. If we're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in 10 days or less. Ugh, London is a scary place.
Ah, good morning to you at this early hour.
It's the villain! It's the super villain, dude. This dude has the real clouded Kokoro. His Kokoro is cloudeder than I've ever fucking seen. Just look at his fucking eyes and it'll tell you all you need to know. Oh, yes, well. He's literally more evil than the final boss from Ace Attorney 1's DLC. And that guy was evil as fuck. The police chief in that one, that dude was absurd. And this guy's more evil than that. He's so over the top. Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. His name should be Super Satan-sama. We have come to report on the outcome of the trial at the Old Bailey yesterday. Suzato-san is amazing. She doesn't bat an eyelid, even in the presence of the imposing Lord Strongheart.
Yes, I believe you had a very comprehensive initiation into the British courtroom practices.
Oh yes, it was very eye-opening, thank you. And in accordance with your instructions, Lord Strongheart, Mr. Naruhodo performed his duty to the end.
Yes, I've already been apprised of events. You conducted a remarkable defense. You may consider the test passed.
Oh.
No longer are you a student from the Empire of Japan. You may henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer. My country is delighted to welcome young talent from such a remote eastern land.
Thank you very much. So, I'm a lawyer now.
Now, in view of your new appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that won't be a problem.
Another case? Already?
Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure. I don't sense dissatisfaction, do I?
It's just that yesterday's trial ended, unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it.
What's to come to terms with? The man was cleared. What more were you hoping for?
I don't know, closure? So Seki Natsume is an author from the early 1900s. Oh, gotcha. That makes total sense. Yeah. So he was writing about the same kind of stuff. That same, I guess, like, social movement. It was fun. That's, what's it called? My favorite, fiction about that ever is still Way of the Samurai 4. It's the dumbest game of all time, but it's fucking awesome. It's about the exact same thing. It's about when the British rolls into Japan and then, like, just the different reactions to it. It's a fun history period. I like it. Way of the Samurai 4 definitely takes a very exaggerated look at it, to say the least.
The culpability of the defendant has not at the present time been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment.
Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. I forgot his voice already because I didn't think he was coming back anytime soon.
Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it's been a pleasure. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense.
Yeah, dude, I remember what he said. This was fucking 5 minutes ago. That's me laughing whenever something crazy happens in this game. Clapping my little hands together. I just can't help wondering if Mr. McGilded really was innocent. Mr. Naruhodo, it's just that I never managed to ascertain the truth. And then the trial ended.
Well, you needn't let it trouble you for a second longer.
Sorry? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
Magnus McGilded has passed away.
What? No! Impossible. Literally impossible.
Immediately following the trial.
No! What? Mr. McGilded is dead? He's not dead. There's a 0% chance he's fucking dead.
I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk.
I don't have that long until my next engagement. I have 5 minutes and 0 seconds. Oh, I did save. No! I Magnus McGilded my own self, dude. I killed my own playthrough. Dude, here's the fucked up part. The Durant Magnus McGilded did the Nuzlocke run, if you could believe that. So he was the one inside the cabin, supposedly. That's crazy. No, he wasn't. He 100% wasn't. Because remember, he had the bailiff escort him in. He was doing some dirty stuff. He just, like, burned a random guy so that it would seem like he would fake his own death, right? Like, if you burn a body, you're not going to be able to recognize it. They'll just assume it's Magnus McGilded. They probably left his classic Lucky Charms all over the body just so that people would think it was him. It's not him. It's 100% not him. He's Magnus goddamn McGilded. They're not going to kill him off screen. He was the best character I've ever seen in my fucking life. He does not die off camera. Ridiculous. I refuse. I refuse this premise. I don't understand. What happened? How could he be dead?
After the trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you'll presumably recall, an omnibus had been wheeled into the courtroom.
Yes, of course. That was the scene of the crime which Mr. McGilded had been accused of.
Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some other matter, the omnibus went up in flames.
No. How could such a thing have happened?
That is being investigated as we speak, but already the police have identified a corpse found inside the charred shell of the carriage as that of McGilded.
That's awful.
The man must have slipped inside whilst the bailiff's attention was elsewhere.
That bailiff really needs to pay more attention. And how could that have happened?
That is also being investigated as we speak.
Thinking back now, Immediately after the this is her. Immediately after the trial, Mr. McGilded did mention going back into the courtroom to look at the omnibus. I couldn't tell by the fact that the camera was on her and that it said her name over the text and that her mouth was moving while she was talking. So I just thought it was me, you know? I just assumed it was me talking. How was I to know, really? There were no hints. No, there he is. McGilded, come back. Gone too soon. Can someone please make an edit where it's like a gone too soon RIP to Mr. McGilded? And then play what is it called? Thug's Paradise or whatever? You know the song. You all know the rap. Mr. McGilded's classic rap. I must be making tracks now. Tis time for the inspection. What inspection? McGilded, no! It's gonna cut to that tragic scene of Naruhodo chasing after McGilded as he walks away in the distance. On, you know, the white background. It's just so sad. Gone too soon. R.I.P. McGilded. This is so fucking sad, dude. He was literally the best character I've ever goddamn seen in anything, and he's gone off screen! Unbelievable. The British have to pay for this. This is a bridge too far. I was willing to accept the murder of that guy with the dumb hat, but McGilded!
An inspection of the omnibus? Not to my knowledge. I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage.
But then who was Mr. McGilded talking about?
Never mind that now. The Yard is making a thorough investigation. This matter is no longer any concern of yours. Leave it to the police.
Poor Mr. McGilded. Oh. She literally has the exact same role in the story as Maya. Anytime something sad happens, she just says, poor blank. Well, fuck, man, that was a hell of a cliffhanger. Shit, that's where we're gonna leave off. Perfect timing. Fucking Mr. McGilded is gone. Gone too soon, but forever in our hearts. Yeah, I'm completely out of time. Again, sorry that this stream was short. This stream was probably like 30 to 40 minutes shorter than usual because the power kept fucking going out midstream, but I will get the VODs captured in case you missed anything, and then it'll be up on the Twitch channel and on the YouTube archives so that you can catch up. Beyond that, I'm out of here, so I will catch you guys again tomorrow. Same time, same place. I stream Thursdays through Sundays, 4 to 9 p.m. Central, so I will see you all then for more, and I will see you next Friday, same time, same place, for this continuation. We will go right into the next trial, which now, consider me fucking hooked. Like, what a story hook, right? The shit heel evil guy from the first trial just dying off camera, that's pretty insane. But yeah, I will catch y'all then for more. Peace out for now, everybody. Have a good night.